Hi there, it's Stephanie. I am so glad that you are checking out our monthly task list. So this is part of our 21-day couch to clean challenge combo. So we've got a whole playlist of videos for you. So thanks for checking this out. So on our monthly task list, we have high dusting and low dusting, which I typically will do at the same time-ish. So I will typically grab my Swiffer. I don't have one next to me, but I grab my Swiffer. I put a dry cloth, a microfiber or disposable cloth on it. I keep it dry and I do it all around the edges and the corners of the ceiling, and even on like the walls, not the not this, but the actual like wall surface. I will dust the walls, and then you can just run it along your baseboards. Now, if that method is not sufficient, then that's when you'll need to actually bend down and dust your baseboards with a microfiber and a dusting spray, or just even a little bit of water and just kind of like with a moist cloth, but not like a sopping wet cloth. And then also on our monthly task list, we're also going to make sure we want to wash our bedding. Now, again, I have some families that I help that we do it more on a weekly basis, and I like to keep mine done more on a weekly basis, but I know that that can be a lot for some people. So if you are at least washing your bedding once a month, you're done is better than perfect, and you can always move it over to the weekly task list if you would like, but monthly is sufficient as well. And then also on our monthly list, we are doing all of our door handles and any marks on the doors. So what I like to do is go around with the cloth. I've sprayed like a few sprays of vinegar, and then I've got some disinfectant wipes, and then I'll use the wipes on those door handles. I'm also doing light switches, all of our high touch areas, all areas where everybody seems to be touching a lot. So I'm also doing the remote controls, things that people are touching, maybe like light switches on the lamps and things like that. So you know the activity and the busyness of your home. And if you're doing those once a month, that is awesome. However, I would also say if you just had like an illness, some kind of like infestation run through your home, that would be an excellent time to grab those disinfectant wipes and run around and do all of your high touch surfaces. Door handles, marks on doors, light switches, common, everybody's touching it areas, get all those. Then you're gonna go ahead and use your glass cleaning vinegar on your interior windows and ledges. No, you do not have to pop the whole window in and do all of that. That's an entire production. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about just the dust on the actual like ledge itself, and the layers of the window, the frames around the window. So then you're gonna dust any rooms that have not been touched on a weekly cleaning. So maybe on the monthly cleaning, maybe you're just popping into those guest rooms. I do have a guest room in my house, but it's kind of almost like, I'm sure as many of you that have a guest room in your house, it becomes kind of like a storage. But don't neglect those areas completely. Just make sure you go in there. Should I have a vacuum run through it? How's that ceiling fan looking? Is it like an embarrassment? Do we need to like dust it really quick? You know, just things like that. So just touch up those rooms that maybe you don't access all the time. Just check them out and think like, if you were brand new walking in the room, you know, would you be embarrassed if like your mother-in-law came over and was walking through your house, kind of a thing, or your best girlfriend from work or whatnot? And then go ahead and wipe the interior shelves in your refrigerator if you have not already done so on your weekly cleans. So you might just be busy and you didn't get around to doing it during your weekly clean. So make sure you're gonna just wipe the interior shelves in your refrigerator. That may mean pulling everything out. Depends on the space and capacity and how much you've crammed in. Like my freezer is jam-packed. I literally have to pull everything out in order to kind of like figure out what's in there. And to be honest with you, it's high time for me to do that. But my refrigerator is a little bit easier to access. I can kind of like wipe an area and shift stuff over and wipe and then move stuff back and kind of work like that. So your space and your life and your lifestyle and whatnot. So just get those shelves in the refrigerator clean and not sticky. And then you are going to also, if you are lucky enough to have this, run the self-clean feature on your oven once a month. It's great to do this overnight. You might want to run the ceiling fan in your kitchen also while you are doing this, but run that self-clean feature on your oven and then make sure you're doing that on a day when the following morning you have time to wipe the inside out, because I've seen a lot of people, they'll run the self-clean feature, but then they don't wipe it out. So wipe out that dust, because basically what it's doing is the self-clean feature gets the oven as hot as it possibly can for a whole bunch of hours. And then as soon as it's done, all that stuff that was on there, it basically just bakes to like powdery form, and you're gonna want to wipe out that powdery dried up dusts of like food gone bad, right? So wipe that out. And then last thing on your monthly task list is to declutter one area of your home. Just one. Just pick an area of your home that needs it the most. Maybe start with your closet. And I have a whole separate video on decluttering your closet, so I can go ahead and tag that in the description above for you, just to keep your life easy and simple. But if you have found us outside of the 21-day challenge, please join us there. That video is going to be in the description above for you as well. I love our community here. I love that we are positive and we support each other, and we are here to cheer each other on and help each other grow. And any way that I can help you, I am happy to do so. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.